Hello, welcome aboard for another video. Subscribers, friends, viewers, sharers and consumers alike. On my own sim today, we've done today's work. It is Friday the 4th of February. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We've done the day's work. We're on Brown Waste today doing a garden collections, and we've done that. We had a lunch break. I had a lunch break. I dropped them off. And we're now going to join each other. Rather, you should join me, and we shall drive to Ongar and empty this vehicle. So this is a 2021 vehicle on a 71 plate. It has approximately, I think it's 22 tonne, 23 tonne overall. So we've got about 7-8 tonne of garden waste on board. So we'll drive up to Ongar from Chelmsford. It's about 30, maybe 40 minutes each way from this location. If the situation is favourable, then we shall perhaps film the tipping operation as well, where it's safe and reasonable to do so. So yes, what to talk about? Just turn the stereo off, got that coming on. So, another day, another dollar. Yeah, so today went well. 2 young guys, one of which was in the first ever truck video, the young lad with the glasses, and his normal colleague on their round. Their driver's off this week, so for today I covered their route. Brilliant workers, really pulled out all the stops, blasted out the work, and we had a good day of it. Dreadful rain this morning, however, but check the roundabout's clear. Yeah, cool. Yeah, look at it now. Look at that. Life is good. Bless the ground we walk upon. It's a sunny day. We've made it through the night. Life is good. So we're going to grab lane 2 in a second once this Audi Q5 has passed us. So in anticipation of the roundabout up ahead, quite a notorious one in Chelmsford, the Army and Navy. When we arrive, there used to be a large pub, like old Tudor building looking thing. Not sure when it was constructed. That was the Army and Navy pub. It's now been turned into a travel lodge. This roundabout used to have a large flyover from the A1114 there into Chelmsford city centre. I think got to city centre within the last 5-10 years. City status, sorry. There used to be a flyover over it, but apparently it had concrete cancer and it had been up much longer than it was due to be. So they tore it down, and they believe they're going to do some major junction works. So hang back, keep an eye on the mirrors, because I can't trust these people because they're fools. Already, look, cutting across the line, no need to. I fully expect people in lane 1 to try and do third exit. So I've got to keep my wits about me. I shall keep on talking, but I do need to concentrate for this, because this roundabout's got almost like a notoriety, if you will. It has a mythical status. If you say them 2 words together, Army Navy, get the tradesman's suck of air through the teeth. So after Paramount Platforms, who I had a job interview at once, I can hear sirens. Where is it? There, fire engine. Cool, let's go. So ease onto the roundabout, but there's no point in charging ahead because I can see I'm about to be obstructed. Good job, gentlemen. They're doing a damn good job. Dangerous. Right, near side mirror. Good, they're coming off the second exit. The reason why I was keen on the horn was the old girl at the front of the Micra wasn't moving. She was too terrified and worried about what was coming from the right. But it was plain that all of us in that small selection of vehicles were stationary, allowing the fire engine to continue. She wasn't reading the situation correctly. So that roundabout, I believe, is in consultation to be made into a hamburger junction. So the roundabout that you can still drive around, but I believe there's going to be a thoroughfare through it, much like the patty between 2 buns. Again, I believe we're only at digital designs at this point, so it's going to be quite some years away until it's complete, notwithstanding the time where it's going to be constructed. It's going to cause all manner of problems, but that's by the by. Chelmsford is far outstripping its vehicle carrying capabilities, parking, accessibility, especially bus routes. Again, in the previous video, I believe, previous or one prior to that, I talked about how I used to drive on the buses. Of the very few bus gates, lanes and priority zones there were in Chelmsford, some were timed, some were 24-hour, but it seemed like the bus was always second fiddle to standard motor vehicles, i.e. what's ahead of us. And as such, you can't really... The point of public transport is reduce cars on the road. Affordable... Jesus, I'm trying... I don't script these videos, I speak off the cuff. Matter of fact, I don't preconceive any notions in my head, I just... Bing, 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 synaptic response. I'm trying to think of things to say. Public transport is there to serve a purpose. It's not necessarily there as a profitable venture. Get people out their cars, reduce congestion and subsequently pollution. Check that motor because they know what they're doing. We're grabbing lane 2. Check the mirror as we do so. Cool. Cost effective for the people, so it offers a good frequent service with lots of routes that are going to help a lot of people. Unfortunately, with the way things are planned around here, that's not the case. The services are too infrequent, definitely unreliable. The fares do not... Jesus. Give him the wave. You're the one that cut him off. Damn fool. Right, we're zooming. Yeah, yeah, the fare... brilliant. Let's have a check, Cool, cool. Yes, the fares are jolly dear. They do not represent good value for money. The fleet is aged and unreliable. There's certain areas of Chelmsford that have an entire black spot that have zero public transport coverage. What else? Onward connections, middling. So you've got the Chelmsford railway station, Southend Airport, Stansted Airport, and the other towns and cities with it: Colchester, Witham, Boreham, Braintree. Well, Boreham's not a town, really. It's more like a village, a large village. But yeah, places where there's interconnecting bus services. But we're talking, some of our services were 2 hourly. Granted, they were the countryside stuff, all good. The countryside routes, I suspect this woman's going lane 2. That licking the lips, cautious, I don't know what I'm doing look is not filling me with a great deal of confidence. Let's have a look. Look, all gripping the wheel, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 2 hands on the same side. I am flabbergasted. I take it back. Truly, I am humbled. Good, roundabout's clear. Yeah, so the bus network's not terrific around here. What was I talking about? Chelmsford outstripping its supply of space. So yes, quite often, every day, there are some major choke points in Chelmsford where single-digit number of cars can make it for a traffic light, and as such, it just cascades down the hill and runs out of control. It takes a 45-50 minute journey what would ordinarily take 10 minutes early morning. Cycle infrastructure has certainly improved around here. There's a couple of maybe where you live, certainly in London, there was the when the COVID lockdowns were in place and a great deal of vehicles were off the road, they implemented a lot more cycle infrastructure, so very segregated cycle lanes with barriers or high raised curbs, red I don't know what you call it, coating on the tarmac to denote that it's a very separate lane. There's quite a major arterial road in Chelmsford called Broomfield Road. So it leads from the city centre right up to Broomfield Hospital, which is an A&E. So it's very important that traffic flows freely. Now previously this was just it is a single carriageway urban road. 30-mile-an-hour limit throughout, 7.5 tonne limit. Jesus, near the Broomfield end. And cars and bicycles used to mix freely. Now, in both directions, not a dissimilar width to this small divide. Christ, words escape me. This line beside the truck, that small space it occupies, that plus 50% in both directions with double cones like these black poles with reflective tape on them. Ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum. So cars can't get in there. Majority of the length of the road. Good. I visited Amsterdam with my father 2018, I believe. Yeah, 2019. Pre-COVID, if you can remember them days. And I was floored with how well that city worked. It was just a 4-day weekend flying out from London City Airport, but Amsterdam I regard largely as sorry, that was a council colleague, sorry, he was a hired bit, I didn't recognise him. I regard Amsterdam as the cycling capital of Europe, not necessarily the world, because I imagine Tokyo, Beijing, they're pretty keen on cycling, no. But yeah, Amsterdam, wow, incredible. Beautifully clean city, very seldom saw any litter on the floor. The cycle infrastructure, second to none. They're enormous underground parking garages for the bicycles you put on racks that then raise them off the floor so people can get beneath them. And we're talking like thousands of spaces near the major rail stations. The road markings, the way their equivalent of the highway code works, where, well, as in all cases, especially now in the UK in 2022, pedestrians and cyclists have priority on the roads. Brilliant. And as such, yeah, cars must give way, yield, whatever verbiage you wish to use. Now in Amsterdam, the way their roads are planned, even before you get in the car, the way the roads are laid out with the junctions and the way things intersect away from each other, cars and people don't mix near cross points, if you will. So for instance, cars turning right, the pedestrians wouldn't be crossing near the top light in the UK, you'd be crossing either much further down, or more crucially, there's a channel on YouTube that is about bikes of the Netherlands. I think it's like an orange colour. The videos are normally like 20, 30, 40 minutes long. Very well presented. It's been a long while since I've watched one. I do apologise, creator. I can't remember your name or your channel, but Bikes Amsterdam, it's orange thumbnail as a picture, as a avatar, like profile picture. Really good channel. One of the videos I watched was how the humps and the colours and the jutting angles of the road layout puts the onus on the driver to keep an eye on pedestrians, whereas in the UK it's archaic at best, notwithstanding the way that people walk around zombified on their phones now. Now I understand, yes, you must give way to a pedestrian if they're already in the road, utterly understood, but when they're, say for instance, I was turning left here, they're walking, no shoulder check, head down, looking at the floor, obviously beep 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 on their sodding phone, headphones in, don't even check, just whoop. Very hot water, hot potato, difficult issue to deal with. But again, you're in a car, you've got foot brake, you can apply easily, it'll bring your vehicle to a stop, no one's hurt. If a car hits you behind, unfortunately the car was following too close, travelling too fast, wasn't concentrating any matter of the three. But for I think there's a lot of confusion. Again, this is just my layman's opinion. I think there's going to be a lot of confusion about how pedestrians may now feel, oh good, I can just enter the road. For instance, oh come on, yeah, ordinarily I'd let him out, I'd have lifted off and flashed him, but I can see there's 2 or 3 cars behind me and a truck behind that. We're already doing 48, 50 mile an hour, so it's just not safe. Ian of Hubner did a video on the highway code changes the other day, so the more established priority pecking order. So passenger vehicles, trucks, all that kind of stuff's at the bottom, and at the top of the pyramid, the greatest importance, pedestrians and cyclists. In that cyclists can overtake you on both sides in stationary traffic. Mirror, 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 you must be checking your mirrors incessantly to ensure safety and you're clear to go before you pull off. The Dutch check, wherein, excuse me, what they want you to do now, rather than open a door handle and ripping it open and throw the thing open, they want you to do the Dutch check. So using your opposite hand to open the door handle, it's meant to encourage you to look over your shoulder as you're opening, present tense, opening the door. So should a cyclist appear, because you had to reach over, it naturally should incline you to turn your head and check your hazards in your blind spot, your lifesaver. I did my CBT many years ago, the old compulsory basic training for the 125 motorcycle, on what was then a decrepit Honda CG 125. We're talking back in 2011, 2012, so 10 years ago, early 20s. Did it as a day out with a friend, with perhaps with a view to get a little 125 on L plates and go green lane and all that kind of thing, but it never came to fruition. We did the day out, we had a lot of fun, but it went no further. and the skills and the observation you're taught when riding a motorcycle, scooter or moped, regardless of speed, lifesavers. When overtaking or passing a stationary object, the head goes over the shoulder like an owl. You're always checking over your shoulder because that will save your life. And I do it in my motor car. I say, driving down the carriageway, check in, and then one last check. Well, no, do 2-3 checks. So mirror, and as it's indicator on, check one more time, because if someone's beside you, that could save a life. In my car, I've got little blind spot mirrors adhered to the outside edge of the door mirror as well. Years ago, I'd have dismissed them for people that incompetent or shouldn't be driving, or if you need that many aids, you shouldn't be on the road. Now that I've got on my motor, so it's a little dome convex glass, which you can get like the rhomboid almost, elongated, well, an oblong, but it's tilted, so you have a fat end and a thin end. I've just got a convex dish, it's like a bowl if you will. Fantastic. Just a brief glance at that, like just your eye flicks like that, flick, boom, tells you so much about what's going on behind you. Again, it's not the most attractive accessory to put on your car, but if it improves safety, visibility, awareness, or anything like that, yeah, I'd recommend. This junction's a bit naughty. I'm off throttle and my foot is hovering over the brake just in case this person sods about, and also if there's anyone pulling out the station. Good, because I've had issues there before. That's why there was the red markings on the road that say slow, 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 because that's a naughty hotspot, that one. Yeah, I've had multiple people cut me off down there. So making progress, be it accelerating uphill or rolling downhill, they check, bin lorry, yeah, we're going. They just yawn out in front of me. No acceleration, no great urgency to get out of the way, but yeah, that's right, I'll lock up. I'll put the people behind me at risk instead. Oh. So yes, new highway code changes. Yeah, pedestrians, it affords them, well, it doesn't afford them more safety, because if a car still hits you, metal doesn't feel pain. You're still getting broken legs, paralysed or dying. But there's greater consequence for the driver. If you do something incorrect and other people get injured, unless you've got some truly extraordinary footage that will exonerate you and prove that act of God levels of coincidence occurred, you're in for a bad time. Mobile phone rules got even stricter now. Even at present, well, prior to the new code change, it was 6 points, £200, I believe. Caught within the first year of driving, might be 2 years, I think it's 1 year, boom, licence gone, of passing your test, I should clarify. However, that was phone in hand, making telephone calls or texts. But as Ian of Hubnut explained, there was a loophole whereby you could have a phone in a mount on a windscreen and operate it as a camera, as navigation. And because that wasn't in communication with other people, that somehow slipped the clutches of the law. Now, any phone touching, you touch that phone, or hands-free kit, because that's crucial, even with Bluetooth, be integrated into your car, an earpiece, headphones, one of them visor things. If you are distracted, says the hypocrite as he films whilst talks whilst driving, if you injure someone else as a result of on a phone call and you are not giving appropriate due care and attention to the road ahead, naughty boys, bad times are coming. But what, granted, I drive a very old Skoda, whatever you prefer to pronounce it. Entertainment is an old, dot matrixy, almost LCD screen, radio FM, cassette up front, 6 CD changer in the boot. I don't have touch screens, I don't have Android or Apple CarPlay or any of that nonsense. However, from what I've seen of modern motor cars, the traditional wheels, buttons and sliders are going in place of wonderful, although distracting, touchscreens. So for instance, if you feel it's too hot in here, without looking at the dashboard, I can turn that wheel. I'm still looking ahead, I'm too far forward to tilt my head to look at that dial. That's how easy it is to operate, I don't need to look at it. However, modern cars, beep beep beep. You have to enter the matrix, pressing Christ knows how many buttons and entering sub menus to turn the heated seat off, to turn the radio up, turn it down, heating controls, what have you. My car, 1 to 4, fresh air and recirculates on a button, as is aircon, because we are luxurious in Chelmsford. And a rotary wheel, like much like what you heard on that one do, to achieve different temperatures. Touchscreens, even on a mobile phone, I find frustrating at times. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You might note I'm going particularly slow here. Once you pass this directional sign, this big square thing here, if you lift off, so that we're already gained 3 miles an hour and I didn't accelerate, we lift off, we'll drop it down to 5th manually on the gearbox. There's sometimes police car mobile cameras in this lay-by. I don't trust like that. I'm not frivolous. You watch throughout all my videos, I don't speed. So we'll drop it down to 4th. Use the engine braking of the vehicle. Should hold it at an even keel. It might drip up to 30, but it's 30 mile an hour, as stated on that repeater, until this 50 mile an hour sign. So look, holding 29 mile an hour, nice and gently. Car sitting far too close behind, look. Way too close. Back into drive, partial throttle, into 5th. Yeah. Gently, gently, gently. That Skoda, it's a 1.9 diesel, very slow. It's got about 90 horsepower, although, book figures is 89 horsepower, PS. Is it 200 Newton meters, I believe, ish? 195, 198? I took it to be rolling roaded about 2-3 years ago. Absolutely standard condition of motor vehicle. Took my car, a friend joined me with his 1989 Honda CRX 1.6. Non-VTEC, 130 horsepower, and there was a couple of others. There was a E33 series with some sort of turbo straight 6, probably 2.5 litre, E46 M3 Cabrio, and a couple of other cars. 50 quid for about 2-3 runs and a printout. Mine was the only car on the day that exceeded, yes, exceeded factory figures, 95 horsepower and a dizzying 205 Newton meters of torque on 3 runs. Now obviously that's dynamometer day is a controversial subject because many people say that the divining rod waves differently at each location, so what might be X at one location is Y at another, and how often they've been calibrated, what have you. I don't care. I have an A4 printout in my room that says here is a graph of a pretty linear torque curve. So the reason why I mention my motor car is it's revolutionised how I drive. When I was a younger man, so Ford Fiesta, Ford Sierra 2 litre, Volvo 940 Turbo, Audi 80 2 litre E, another Volvo 940 Turbo, a Volvo V70, lovely car. These were petrol driven, you're racing through the gears, noise, way. This Skoda, because it's a diesel, I'm ever trying to increase the average MPG on display. It's increased my tight-fisted nature, and as such I cruise everywhere now very gently, change up by about 2,000 RPM, maybe 2,500 if we're making progress, and yeah, not the cruise control into 60 and just cruise about, and it's, yeah, very relaxing. When I'm doing 70 mile an hour on the carriageways and endlessly doing elephant racing with other cars at 70 odd mile an hour, it's very stressful and frustrating. 60 mile an hour, just breeze about, say, save the pennies. Wicked motor. It was an itch I wanted to scratch for a long time, and yeah, no regrets. It looks like a unlicensed minicab, 2004, so it's going back some time. So it's not one of our accounts of vehicles, but I'll give them a wave. Part of the same trade and all that. So indicator on. This is the entrance up here. I'll give the people behind plenty of time to notice. So yeah, Skoda Octavia Mark 1. 1U5 is the designation of the model. Yeah, 1.9 diesel, 90 horsepower. So it's the ALH engine, which I have and can run on vegetable oil. I did about 30 litres, 40 odd litres of straight veg oil, so brand new, straight out of the bottle, supermarket spec. There's certain arguments that used veg oil that's been correctly filtered would be better, but it wasn't immediately accessible to me. I certainly don't have the space in the garage to process this stuff by means of containers, funnels, spouts, the muslin paper, so no, I thought I'd give it a go. Excuse me. Slightly different exhaust aroma, of course, but it ran fine. I felt no drop off in performance, but I did this in summer conditions and I mixed it, I'd say half tank of these, about over half a tank of veg with about 20 litres of diesel, so it diluted it somewhat. I replaced the fuel filter shortly afterwards with MAN, M-A-N-N, the green and yellow stuff, MAN filter. That's all the filters I use for my cars. I've used OEM before, but nah, MAN's fine with me. Sounds like a London phrase. Yeah, and I keep a spare fuel filter in the boot and the appropriate hose plier tool in case I ever need to change it on the move. But no, the car's good as gold. Wicked motor. No regrets. Would I have one again? Feasibly, but I feel that I haven't necessarily done all there is to know about that car or the 1.9 TDI from the Volkswagen group, but try something different next. Perhaps something Japanese, who knows. So, this place we're at now, 10 mile an hour, because I'm a polite fella, is composting. So this is where all our garden waste goes in Chelmsford. It's on the outskirts of Ongar / North Weald. This rubble, I don't know what the hell's going on. None of this used to be here. Used to be able to park and have brakes or have a wee stop, but they've dumped all this here now. Are they making a proper road and this is the hardcore to go beneath? Or has this just been dumped to spite us so we don't have our brakes here anymore? It's quite a measure to go to. They could have just said, please don't park there. I don't know. That's merely supposition. You've seen the same amount of information I have. So we'll chuck it on the weighbridge. I've got a ticket / docket behind me. So my registration, this authority, don't think there's any account numbers, but there's like a ticket number at the top right. It's carbon copy papers and all that kind of thing. I give that to him at the start, weigh on, dump the stuff, weigh off, brilliant, and yeah, it is that simple. So on the bridge, I'll take the camera off my head as I go talk to him. It's not making it too brazenly obvious. I've got it on my head, on my bonds. So a bit more to the steps there. So handbrake, neutral, armrest, seatbelt. Oh, he shattered the window there. So here we go. So yeah, this docket. Oh. So yeah, look. I don't know why they don't use ANPR on computers here, but yeah, look. So staff words, the company, the reg of the motor, it's a rear collection vehicle, a supervisor, blah 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 blah. So yeah, green waste. I don't know what these codes mean. I imagine some computery nonsense. So I shall fade to black, and I shall see you shortly. Fade back in. So I had to quickly get it off the weighbridge because a colleague was exiting. Not that it was appreciated, but hey, that's their problem. So this is a composting site. We dump your muck here. Gets put through graded machines. I've mentioned this in an earlier video. I shall show it to you today. Not sure how I'm going to record when I'm standing outside the video. I'm going to have to hold it in my mouth. It's not going to be great, but I'll do my best for you. So, composting site. So roll forward, draw level with this motor here. Bit more, so matey can see me. So look, you drive up, you open the back, you dump the stuff on the floor. Now this equipment here, they scoop this fresh stuff in, it filters, it rotates, it spits, it does all manner of stuff inside, some sorcery. Someone in the comments previously posted detailed links. There's an Australian guy showing the equipment and manufacturers' websites and videos, what have you. So, pick stuff up, long tumble dryer, flicking out all the bits and what have you. Just quickly get the hard hat. There we go. And it gets done through multiple stages. It degrades outside. Hello, friend. So that's a guy that used to do the weighbridge a lot. Thoroughly nice fellow. I've not seen him for some time. Clearly he has no objection to the video. So yeah, we'll roll forward. So look, conveyor belt, stuff, flicky, flicky, flicky. So look, this is me tipping a vehicle. So reverse back, mirror, mirror, we're all clear, no one's behind. So look, check the camera. Beep, 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 beep. So a bit more. I want to get near the pile, but not on it, because when the back lifts up, it's going to cause all manner of issues. So, handbrake, tipping operations. I'll get closer for this to do its doodlies. So, back lifting operations. Hopefully the camera's the right angle for you. So, raise the back. So, hydraulic pressure was about 10 bar standard running pressure. We're now at 217 bar. 14 psi a bar. That's many psi's of hydraulic pressure. Lifting, 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 lifting. So that you can see the sky. Toy Story wallpaper. I've had it before where we've loaded up the vehicle so much the hopper was full, the hydraulics were unable to lift it up, and we had to get a front end loader, 360 shovel thing, to lift the vehicle because it had like a full ton, 2 ton in the back. Not good. So the hopper blade is now working around, clearing the hopper area. You can see stuff starting to fall out. We'll get back into the seat at this point. So look, you can see stuff falling out. You excuse the mucky mirrors. So when the words will come to me, come on. When the hopper blade is done cycling and emptying out the main loading area of the vehicle, get some gloves on for this bit, we'll then start moving the blade. Imagine it being lorry, side on, so cab, wheels, axles, lift, there's a large compacting blade. Hopper scooping, it's pushing against the blade, there's a large ram, pushed up to the front of the vehicle, bang, you're full, you've got all your weight, that's all you're getting. I don't know why it's still cycling. Good, that's ready now. The back is open is what it means. So the cab would be up here, the back is up. Get some gloves on, in anticipation of getting out shortly. Here we go, so handbrake off, foot firmly on the brake. So what buttons we've got here, not sure what that does, cab button. Raise the back, push the blade out, push the blade in, lower it once complete. So foot is still firmly on the brake, extending outwards. Now, I shall feel it, but you won't see it on camera. Stuff's falling out. You feel the vehicle lurch. Here we go, that was it. So if I let off the foot brake now, with no acceleration, the vehicle will start rolling forward as an enormous pile of waste is coming out the back. Now, what that's doing is pushing the vehicle along just because of the sheer volume of stuff behind. Now, today wasn't especially busy, so the vehicle isn't full. So look, it's not doing anything anymore. So in gear, with the back still up, roll forwards, you'll see stuff start falling over. There we go. Now we're further forwards, we'll bang the, yes! We'll bang the blade, so back, forth. And again, look at all that stuff. God, they're very lazy in this motor. Mostly I've been lorries, it's bang, bang! Here, not much. Now there's 2 methods to lowering the vehicle. I'll do the ordinary one. So, what that means is it will lower it to within 1 metre of closing. That's a safety margin, so then the driver has to get out and check the buttons so that there's no obstructions, people, any of that kind of thing. Listen, that click, that's all you're getting. Let's have a quick check. Does the hard hat go on at the same time? Good enough. So, going outside. So, tipping operations. Plainly, people don't understand the difference between brown waste and general because they've obviously mixed it in the bin. So that the bin is up. That's your large blade. That's what does all the scooping. So buttons, hydraulics, do never walk in this space. If that fails, it's absorbent granules and a shovel, not a body bag. So your waste goes here, that goes to the front of the vehicle, yada yada yada. So 2 buttons, 2 thumbs, press it down, starts lowering the back. As it goes down, I'll stop. I need to rotate my hat so it doesn't fall off my head. That ram will push, locking that down, and this will go like firmly in that gap there. And you hear like a go-donk, there'll be a distinct go-bang. Ready? That's it, lock. We'll do it one more time. That's locked. So looking again, rams down, the back is sealed, so there's going to be no leaks. Locks, well, that's not a lock, that's just an eyelet that locks in. The lock happens up in that area there. But the vehicle is shut, safe and secure. So, whoa, hat nearly fell off my head then. go. Bung that up there because we won't be using that again in here. So yeah, this is the equipment. This is perhaps a better example. So what I'll do is I'll roll forward and I'll show you over the shoulder. So a bit more, bit more, bit more. That looks very safe working up there. So yeah, look, various graded piles of stuff. Good afternoon. So look how it needs to be filtered. Look at all this, frankly, shite. This is compost, this is garden stuff. But look at all this tissues and plastic mess in there. Look, food packaging, a sock. And this is why this stuff has to be filtered. Christ knows how many times. I think it goes through like 4 or 5 different versions of filtration. And then it's left outside to degrade in the open air to mulch, I suppose, like a compost heap in your garden. So microbial breakdown happens, gives off a lot of heat, steam of which you can see here. Not sure if it's conveyed on camera. There, look. Oh, I've shot it now. But look, you can see. No, even I can barely see it. Look here, that top of that pile there, steaming. Such is the heat that it's giving off. So yeah, these are the 360 loaders I was talking about. So one of them had to lift up the back of one of my motors. That's how full and heavy it was. And that is the finished product on the left there. I'm gonna go very slowly because I don't trust like that. Because I don't trust they've seen me. Until I've locked eyes or I've seen that they have become stationary, I don't trust they've seen me. Farmer man. So look, early on in the process, filth, straggly, disgusting mess, smooth, B&Q-like product. And that's what your compost waste does. Use and reuse. We started our life from the earth, and we are finished from the earth. Oh, hello. Might have a chat here. Hello. Fade back in. Yes, you'll excuse that brief intermission. Matey was concerned what my motives were for filming that. Is it for my personal consumption? I said, no, it's for YouTube. But he was concerned about whether or not any ill practices were on show. I said, no, everyone was flawless. Uniforms, high-vis, all that was in good order. Nothing to be concerned about, my guy. You're not under scrutiny from me or yourselves, I'm sure. Yeah, so just briefly, we'll bring the vehicle to a halt. It's clear and slow here, but we'll check properly. So, weighbridge ticket. We have, let's cover some information up. So we started off precisely 21 tonnes. That's unusual. End weight 14,200. We had precisely, according to their weighbridge scales, 6.8 tonnes on the nose. So that's not a mean amount of weight. We blasted through today's work. There was a lot of countryside scattered work. Now, thoughts say countryside, big gardens, 3-4 bins, heavy, heavy, heavy. Not at all, but there was great swathes of distance we managed today whereby there was nothing to be collected. Excellent. Most pleasing. A good end to the week, might I say. So that compost that we saw there, yeah, it's got a pretty singular purpose. You populate the ground with it, stuff grows, terrific. Or you use it as some sort of substrate to put stuff on. I don't know, I'm not in construction. I just merely transport the stuff about. Now, there was a farmer, you saw me pop the thumb to the farmer geezer. So he might be spreading that on his crop. Not like manure, have a quick drink. Yeah, he might be spreading that to fertilise his soil. He might have dredged up some other stuff he needs to replace. Who knows? I've seen articulated bulk lorries coming here. I've seen tippers. I've seen vans with trailers. If you need top compost, this location can be bought wholesale, trade, bulk amounts. They've got the 360 loaders, so if you can fit it, we'll scoop it. So yeah, the compost breaks down and degrades, and the circle of life comes back to the beginning. Goes in the ground, more stuff grows, and thus the cycle continues long beyond after we're all dead, hopefully. i.e. not nuclear war, but like life propagates. But yeah. Well, it's been a good day. It's been a challenging week. I say the 2 videos previous are of this week, so Tuesday, Wednesday, doing the cardboard recycling. We did bulk flats yesterday. Someone asked in the comments if I could do a video about bulk bins. Bulk bins is either trade, so that's private customers, cash money. I don't imagine they'll be too keen. If this stuff, in my opinion, and that's all it is, not representative of my employers and yada yada yada. nothing that nothing that I've shown on these videos, or I could feasibly show, should be of any issue to anyone, because we're all doing our job legitimately, correctly. If you're recycling properly and keeping your place tidy and not interacting, if you don't do anything wrong, we don't have any problems. But certainly, I say, much the way I had to stop the video briefly then to chat to matey. His name escapes me. I do apologise to him if he watches this at some point. Yeah, why are you filming this? What's it for? Because people get jumpy about that. But without a camera in your hand, good. People act differently. As soon as people know they're being filmed, tempers are on edge, because one wrong sentence or misquote, boom, can sink you. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a good day. Life is well. So I've got a 2, maybe a 3-day weekend now. Depends if they need me in on Monday to do overtime. Decent motor. We've had good tunes all day. A lot of George Michael, a bit of Genesis, some Pink Floyd. Good teamwork. Bit of rain earlier. Rain wasn't great, but nothing we couldn't deal with. So we're gonna make some progress back to the yard now. We'll diesel it up. So it's like my vehicle. I give it back in a better condition it's given to me. So we'll diesel it up. We'll clean the mirrors off. AdBlue's about 3/4, but with the way the yard is routed, if I fuel up to drive forward, I've got to AdBlue it anyway. And then paintwork, and then go home. So, although this video didn't have any conventional loading per se, it did have a tipping operation, which someone has requested before. So, hopefully that's satisfied your appetite for bins and waste management on this beautiful UK winter's day in Essex. It's not all this beautiful, honest. It's not all this good. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Wherever you are, whatever time zone, culture, language, religion, organisation, whatever it is you do, thank you. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you to the viewers, the commenters, the people that give me the positive feedback, and indeed in the comments below. Tell me what it is you enjoy, and maybe I can try and do more of it. If it's the commentary, is it the loading, the truck? I don't know. What is it you enjoy about these videos? Please do be telling us all in the comments below. So I think that's my battery is in the yellow on the GoPro, so I think I've only got about a quarter or a third left. It's a drive back now, so I've exhausted my vocabulary for today and fresh ideas without repeating old ground, retreading. So I thank you. I bid you well. Have a good day wherever it is you are, whatever it is you're doing. Be good to each other. Stay safe. Keep it fun. Try to enjoy yourselves. Do a good deed for others. And the obligatory like, comment, subscribe, share. See you again soon. Have a good day. Cheerio.